There are estimated 2.3 billion Christians, 1.9 billion Muslims, 1.2 billion Hindus, 50 million Jews, and there are estimated 4,500 religions like these. But which one is the true religion? And is there even a need for a religion at all? A few months ago, after asking a lot of questions and doing a lot of research, I made my decision. As a blonde European man of 22 years old, I found Islam as my true religion. And I'm not the only one. Islam for the past few decades has been the fastest growing religion in the world. But why?
The world embracing Islam.
Is Islam the true religion? And can we prove it? I mean, there are so many religions, so many different gods, so many beliefs. What is the true religion? In this video, we're about to find out. All my life, I've been asking myself questions like, who am I? What happens after I die? What is the purpose of this life? Something in me said that there had to be more to life, a deeper meaning, a purpose. There has to be more than just a few years we spent on this earth. So I started doing research and looking for more answers. But how do you even start researching and looking into 4,500 religions and philosophical beliefs? That's impossible, right? I mean, you can't look into them one by one. So I had to use logical reasoning and a process of elimination to filter them and find out if there is a true religion at all. In this process, I asked myself a lot of questions, like, does God exist and can we prove it? What is the purpose of human existence? Is there a need for a religion at all? Is there a holy book? And what is the evidence that supports these claims of a holy book? Now, let's move through this process together and use the filtering process of elimination by asking questions about the fundamental parts of a religion or a philosophical belief. The first question I asked myself was, is there a God? And can we prove it? A question that people have been asking themselves throughout history. And there are many ways to answer this question. But what I did was observing the universe around us. Something we can all see with our own eyes. I mean, what I really realized is sometimes we take it for granted and we accept everything around us, what we see, without realizing how unique and special it is. I've always been so impressed by the scale of the universe, the stars, the planets, but also the simple things on this earth, like trees, water, animals. Sometimes I just couldn't sleep when I was thinking about the scale and the complexity of the universe around us. And then I started asking myself, like, is this complex and immense big universe a proof of a higher power, creator? Or is the universe just the way it is? But then, why is it the way it is? Alright, let's look at it from a logical perspective. According to physics, everything in the universe is based on cause and effect. Meaning, if there is work that has been done, there must be a force in place that is able to do that work. Nothing happens without a reason. Or simply said, every act has a doer. For example, a tree producing fruits, a bee producing honey, or a cow producing milk. Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, and many other famous scientists and philosophers asserted that we live in a world governed by law, not chance. Philosopher Plato stated that everything happens for a reason, whether or not we know what it is. He said that every effect has a specific cause. Everything that becomes or changes must do so owing to some cause. I mean, sounds logical, right? But we see the tree as the doer of producing fruits, the bee as the doer of producing honey, and the cow as the doer of the act of producing milk. But the cow doesn't even know what he is making. He doesn't know the amino acids in the milk, nor does he know how many proteins, vitamins, minerals need to be in there. It just happens after he is born. What is the real intelligence behind this creation, what we observe? I mean, the universe is perfect. There are no flaws in it. Every plant, every tree, every animal, everything has its own purpose and is serving something. And nowadays, science discovers and proves that there was a beginning to this universe. But I mean, how big are the chances of a random Big Bang turning into a universe with such perfection and natural laws? With water, beautiful trees, all kinds of animals, all kinds of fruit. I mean, the last time I lit up a firework, it didn't turn into a perfect universe. Even if the Big Bang Theory happened like science speculates, there must be an intelligent force, something behind this perfect creation, right? Or something that simulated the Big Bang. For me, This is more than enough proof for a creator, a higher power, whatever you call him. So when I was using the filter on my first question, religions such as Buddhism, Jainism, and philosophical beliefs such as atheism, agnosticism, naturalism, and skepticism are eliminated, because there must be a creator. And by the way, we as humans can observe the creation, but the creator is unseen. We can see the intelligence behind it. We can see it, we can touch it, we can smell it. But there's nothing tangible in this universe that has the intelligence and the power to create everything that we see. So that eliminates religions like Shintoism, Taoism, and other religions that worship or believe in tangible objects and idols. By asking all these questions, once I realized that there must be an intelligent force behind this creation, a god, I started wondering if there is a need for a religion. So, when looking at the universe again, everything around us, with such beauty and perfection, plants, trees, oceans, animals, and humans with millions and millions of different cells, don't you think that the creator understands his creation best? Everything is created with purpose. I mean, when you buy a laptop, it comes with a manual, right? The manufacturer explains what they developed and how to use it in the best way. Even the simplest products have this. So if even small and simple products have a manual, don't you think that the creator of mankind didn't send a manual that could guide them? I mean, throughout history, people have been asking themselves, who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going to? What happens after I die? What is my purpose in this life? And we humans need principles, discipline, and guidelines in life. Without that, we are lost in randomness and following meaningless desires. I mean, have you ever realized that we humans are the only animals that have a real conscious mind, free will? A cow is just eating grass all day, and a bee is flying around from flower to flower. Everything in the universe does what it's supposed to do and is serving something, except us humans. We are laying in bed watching Netflix all day. We are cutting down whole jungles to use the wood for our industrial productions. We are fighting wars over politics. We humans are the one messing with nature. Without humans on this planet, life would just be. We humans have a free will. We have to choose between good and bad every single day. Life is just a huge test, even if you believe there's no God. Even if you believe religion doesn't make sense, at least all of us should agree that life is constantly testing us. And what's funny is that most people are then using this statement as an argument by saying, oh yes, but if God exists, why is there so much evil and hardship in this world? And this is very interesting, because in my opinion, this is a big misconception of God. And it reminds me of a story that someone told me a little while ago. It's about a religious man going to the barber, and the barber says, I don't believe in God. So the religious man remains quiet and waits for a few seconds. And then he says, I don't believe in barbers. Then the barber asks, why is that? Then the religious man points to the man across the street and says, do you see that man over there with messy and long hair? If barbers existed, that man would walk around with a fresh haircut. The barber laughs and says, of course we exist, but he just doesn't come to us. And then finally the religious man replies and says, exactly. God does exist, but people just don't come to him for guidance. And I completely agree. This is how God teaches us, with hardship and free will. If everything goes well all the time, without any hardship, do you think we would really learn something, get stronger, or have empathy and good personality at all? Whatever you call it, we humans need disciplines, principles, and guidelines in this life in order to grow and build towards something. Without them, we are just lost and walk around with not a messy hairstyle, but with a messy life, without purpose and true meaning. Religion simply means way of life, a universal way that explains how we humans should live, treat one another, create purpose, meaning, etc., etc. And we can try to figure out ourselves what works best in life, of course, but then what you're actually saying is that when you buy a laptop, you want it without the manual, and you want to write the manual yourself and figure out how it works, without even understanding what it's made of, which software it uses, and which part it's built of. You will